everyone, and welcome to the draft. This is the joinDOTA League Season 2. This is the Asia Region, Division 1. I am Roxas, and once again with me is my man, Don Horatio. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. The game started a bit early. I had to run downstairs with my cup of tea. Probably spilled only half of it all over my hand before getting here in time to make it to the draft. Really excited for this game. Titan, probably my favorite SEA team, and Execration, not the true Pino, I hope. But Eski's bounced back and forth, but Execration's always been solid, especially in recent months. So they've been on the wrong side of Titan the last two times they've met, but let's see if they can take a series back from them in this game.
One thing that I noticed is they chose to leave Invoker in the pool. I know that Titan will always pick that up if they do get the first pick, unless Execration decides to get it this time. The Bat and Ember Spirit are going to be banned here from Execration, Lycan and Nyx. Still given the priority here from Titan, and I've said it before, I'm going to say it again, I'm still surprised that Titan's taking so much Lycan is taking so much priority in the Asian scene.
Yeah, especially, I don't know, I've heard you hear a lot of people say if your opponent is dire side, it's worth a ban, but if not, it's worth taking a shot to try and deal with it, especially if you leave it in and you can pick up something like a Centaur for your off-lane hero, and that's certainly something Titan would be willing to do. But the Invoker will go to the side of Execration, no surprise there. Hero's still real strong.
I remember I was talking to someone about why Invoker and Batrider are given so much priority, and if you think about it, no other hero does what they do. And I even went through every hero and thought about this, is the only other hero that initiates a team fight by bringing someone from the opponent's team to their side is Pudge. And with Batrider, like, everyone else has to jump in, like Clockwork, Slark, or anyone like that, and has to put themselves and build themselves tanky, build themselves with a blade mail, and put themselves at risk to initiate a team fight. Magnus is one of those examples as well. And yeah, he has Skewer, but still the time before that is a lot different. And Invoker, just no one else has 10 spells, built-in regen, and is a strong laner, and does a lot of damage, and is a versatile item builder. Like, it's just always going to be that way, I think.
Yeah, I agree, and definitely true. We see Ancient Apparition and Doom taken by Titan, so AA is one of those heroes that's made it like that's stayed in the game through the last patch. Didn't really get hit at all, if anything. I don't know. I'm trying to remember if there was any
the Chilling Touch movement speed reduction was reduced, or was increased to -20.
So there's a bit of a small change, but not a huge thing. So AA still provides what you want him to in the lane.
Ice Blast is the main thing, and that is unchanged.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the Doom just going to get to Invoker, but we see a Viper picked up actually very early. Normally, people wait a little bit longer to grab a Viper up. It's just a strong laning hero. Really want to make a difference in the game, but while we have Viper and Invoker on the same team, which leaves you thinking how they want to lane this. I would think an Invoker as a safe lane farmer in this situation, but it easily could be the Viper in an aggressive situation or a safe lane solo as well. They'll just try to match it up with whatever heroes they think they can rank a bit harder with these two really good laning heroes, especially if that Invoker goes Quasi-Sword.
Yes, absolutely. Well, the other thing about Viper, and I noticed this also, Titan arguably have done the same thing, is a lot of Asian teams will prioritize getting a mech carrier as a core. Just because they want their supports to be active, they want their supports to be buying smoke and wards and getting their boots nice and early, getting mana boots early, and getting their first item. And they don't want to make one of the supports take a 2k gold diversion and try to build a mechanism. So they picked that up early, and not to mention they're both really versatile. So I think that's another reason why they might have picked it up pretty early. And they don't really want to reveal their draft. So Execration, they're going to ban out Weaver and Mirana, thinking that they don't want to deal with both of those heroes in conjunction with an Ancient Apparition in the lane. Plus, since Doom is off the table, Weaver would be particularly strong for Titan. It'd be pretty hard to lock him down. And then Enchantress and Wraith King going to be banned out from Titan.
Yeah, Wraith King here that's seen a lot of play continuously. This hero is just remarkably hard to deal with in a lot of scenarios. Enchantress is, well, I was going to say it's one of Extinct's better heroes, but Titan banned it out themselves, so we won't be seeing that in the jungle for Titan, at least in this game. So, with the Doom also fits in what you said about the mech carry prioritization, because this is a hero that does go mech a lot. as well. So, we're looking for something to pair this AA, preferably ranged carries, but then one more support as well. Ideally with a disable, if they could go aggressive and leave the Doom in the solo safe lane, but Execration also has the same option, but they won't go Naga Siren.
I was thinking they might go for a harder carry like this or Morphling, just because you're going to have the space, and the best thing that Execration can probably do to punish you is go for an aggressive tri-lane, which I think that you're going to be fine with if you have an AA and a Doom, which are both very survivable if you want to put them in the tri-lane. Not to mention there are other very strong laners such as Shadow Demon and Dazzle still on the table, which you don't really want to lane against. So Titan leaving their options open, and they realize at the third pick that they can get pretty greedy. And this is also particularly smart against a Viper and Invoker, which don't have the best wave clearing between levels like... I mean, Viper doesn't really have any at all, but Invoker needs to hit like level 18 or so before he really gets reliable wave clearing spam that he can just throw out without caring if he needs the mana regen or cooldown for team fights.
Yeah, Naga's another hero that a lot of things have been removed from this hero, like not removed, but made a little bit weaker in this hero, but Radiance is still really good, Illusions are still a pain in the ass to deal with, and her spells are still good as well. The Riptide AoE is a little bit smaller, I think, but that's the only real major change. Song is still just massive bullshit.
They basically just made
a reasonable way, but Song is, we all know it's that spell just, nothing quite changes his team fight, just like turning it off. And we see a Shadow Demon picked up Execration, and this is hero that goes really well into a Roam combination, and they have an Invoker and Viper, like I said, two heroes that fit really well in the lanes by themselves and don't need a whole lot of help, and Shadow Demon +1 is a good combo with heroes that help themselves in lane. And
as always, it's really good against any sort of illusion hero, especially a Radiance builder. Because all you have to do is disrupt them once or disrupt one of their illusions, and at least for the illusion duration, which at max disruption is 8 seconds, then they don't have that Radiance advantage.
Yep.
So that's an important thing to be keeping in mind. The other thing I was thinking about Morphling maybe is, you know about the recursive corrosive skin with Morphling and Viper, right?
I didn't know about a Morphling one, no.
So basically, if you make a replicate of Viper, and Viper attacks it, it triggers his illusion's corrosive skin onto Viper. And then since Viper is taking damage...
and they constantly... Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So they just... You start a recursive loop of triggering corrosive skin off both of those illusions. Not to mention also Morphling's pretty hard to bring down. You would need a Hex on the Invoker before you could reliably do that. And I don't really think that an Invoker gives Morphling the hardest time mid, but they did end up picking Naga Siren, but that was just an interesting thing to bring up. Yeah. I know that not everyone really knows about that.
Yeah, so Titans still have a fair bit of options because their lanes are still pretty flexible. You can say the same for Execration as well. They have two heroes that do really well, and they could go any lane, and then ideally the roamers. But the Naga could be mid, or it could be a solo farmer. The Doom could be an off lane. We see that a lot in Asia, or it could be a solo safe. It could even go mid, but I doubt that Doom will want to do that against an Invoker and or a Viper. But we're going to see a Razor from Titan, and they might get aggressive with this. We see a lot of teams trying to go take Razor and just absolutely ruin a lane for a team, and that might be what they do go for here. But we'll see what lane they get matched up against. So we see Sand King picked up to pair with that Shadow Demon, and I really like that pick.
Yeah, Sand King's going to work out. I mean, we see that a lot, so not a whole lot of need to elaborate on that. But in particular, Razor does very, very well against Viper, because Viper's actually really squishy. And the corrosive skin damage, let me make sure I'm saying this right. Yeah, so corrosive skin doesn't have it. Okay, yeah, it doesn't depend on how much damage you do. So basically what Viper's strength in lane is when he goes for mass skin is that you can't really harass him out of lane because you take damage. However, if Razor steals all your damage, one, he's taking more last hits, and then if he harasses you with that damage, the return on corrosive skin, like the ratio of that makes it so it's very manageable. So Razor can do very, very well against the Viper, and I'm thinking they're going to be looking to try to get that matchups, which would put Doom in a solo lane, put Ancient Apparition and Razor in a tri-lane +1, and put the Naga probably mid against the Invoker.
Yeah, so, yeah, this game, I think for Titan, Execration is one of the better roaming support pairs that we have right now. Sand King's one of the favorite supports of this meta currently, and Shadow Demon is just the guy who makes anything work. Titan really, if they want their lanes to work out, they need to make sure that they keep these two very, very powerful early game supports occupied and not just roaming around taking kills for free. They need to be very careful with how they position themselves, and then they need to make a lane so hard for Execration that it forces the supports to stay there and keeps their Naga free and able to farm.
Yeah, not to mention another kind of burden with Titan's draft so far is all their heroes are actually very squishy, and the damage over time will stack up a lot. I mean, I know that Execration is not going to go for a core Venomancer or something, but after a while, if you don't get some sufficient items, it's going to be pretty hard. They're going to go with the Rubik last pick, which
really nice
I think they needed. Well, okay, so it's a core Leshrac?
It could be a core Leshrac or a Sand King. I would reckon Leshrac, and yeah, it's going to be, if Ninja Boogie stays on that Leshrac, it's definitely going to be the Leshrac, and, well, this certainly changes the laning situation, because Leshrac is not a hero you can leave alone in the lane if you're the two supports in Execration. So
this is going to be an aggressive tri-lane with a farming Leshrac and probably a mid-Viper and safe lane Invoker, I would think.
Yeah, they can switch the Invoker and the Viper around. I think that they do. It doesn't really matter, except for where the Razor ends up, because I think the Invoker would have maybe a slightly easier time because he could use Forward Spirits to help himself out against the Razor, but early on it won't matter a whole lot until he gets the double Forward Spirits, and as far as that's concerned, but could be definitely going to be an action-packed game.
Oh, absolutely.
Leshrac early on, yeah, we should.
A lot of people
right from the get-go
forget that Leshrac with farm does a lot of damage. Most of the time we see Leshrac as a support, so most people actually skip Pulse Nova because they're not going to get the mana to be able to deal with it. But you get an Aghanim Scepter all of a sudden, not to mention the Lightning Storm does the same damage as a Reincarnation Slow, which is insane. So I'm interested to see this. But before we kick off, let's go ahead and introduce the teams. On the side of Execration, we're going to have Ninja Boogie playing on the farming Leshrac. Taking up the Invoker, we're going to have Abing, and Fox is going to be playing the support Sand King. The other support will be BGO1 on the Shadow Demon, and on the Viper, we're going to have EWE.
And actually, let's make sure no crazy action takes place here before introducing the boys from Malaysia. All right, so that's over. We got Yamate up on the Razor. On the Rubik, it's going to be Extinct. Nagasar going to be played by KYXY. Ancient Apparition in the hands of Net. And last but not least, Doom will be taken up by Ohio.
Yep, so it looks like it's going to be a safe lane Doom. Ohio did go boots first, so I guess in case he was expecting the aggressive trial line, they went ahead and they just spotted it. Or no, KYXY looks like he's going safe lane. I'm not sure exactly what they're doing. Is Ohio just going to start in the jungle?
Maybe. It's...
I mean, you don't want to fight
this. Lane is, you really don't want to fight it. So.
Yeah, you just go from level 1 and don't even try. Like, it would be their dream if you actually tried to get any experience, I guess.
Oh my god, I do not feel... Okay, I guess, well, whoever's in the offlane, better be glad they're not there, because right now there's a DD Viper, and that's not a good thing to start out against. But, Net, please, don't stay there. I don't want you to be dead.
Well, we'll see what transpires here. Looks like we're going to be... I mean, maybe they don't even lane. Maybe everyone just kind of runs around. Ohio actually is coming up. He's spotted by the Radiant Observer Ward. He backs off. He senses something fishy. Or no, he actually saw Viper moving up with the Styre Observer Ward.
So it looks like right now the supports are going to be hanging out near bottom for Titan, and we have the Leshrac. Sorry, Leshrac is not hanging out with the Shadow Demon right now. Top lane, illusions are gone upon, but nothing transpires of that. Yeah, so interesting laning setup. Normally you see the Shadow Demon with the Leshrac for the easy setup, but I don't know.
I think everyone in this game is just as confused as we are.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of moving around, because these are two teams that really wanted to... Well, Titan wanted to do aggressive tri-lane, but then Execration picks their super stun, super action tri-lane, so it's like, oh god, we actually want to fight that, so they're going to try and maneuver around this for a while, so... There's going to be a lot of rotation from these supports, and I think whoever gets the more efficient rotations off will be in much better shape heading into the mid-game than their opponents, and whoever gets first blood will help out as well.
Net and Extinct have been hiding in the trees for a very long time here. They're very patiently waiting for something to happen. They know that there's not a ward here. They invested a sentry ward. It looks like they're going to wrap around from behind. Doom, he's bidding out a bit of damage. He has some armor to help him out, though. And let's see, it's a Viper. Nope. he's going to be using the Scorched Earth to try to catch up Cold Feet is there, but they're going to be getting away. Never mind. Shadow Demon's going to be lifted up, and he's going to be running down to creeps. Yeah, he's dead.
He has defensive disruption, but I don't think that's going to be enough to save him. Yeah, definitely not enough to save him. And it looks like Ohio will pick up the first blood, so... Not the most efficient support gank I've seen in my life. Didn't quite get the Viper, but... Well, Shadow Demon's a pretty easy hero to kill at level 1 if you catch him out, so... They get first blood, and Ohio gets a nice little start. Phase Boot's already up on him.
Yep. Well, I mean, they have to try to make up for the fact that KYXY is getting aggressively dual laned, and is getting pushed behind his tower a lot. Diabolic Edict, it's not going to be level 2 just yet, but already getting some damage on the tower, and Leshrac, he has pretty good attack range, a great animation. He can zone out KYXY pretty well. And
KYXY has 0 last hits right now.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he's getting zoned out pretty damn good. Because if he goes forward and he gets Burrow Striked and Split Earth and then Edict on top of that, not a lot of fun you're going to have there as KYXY, and you didn't even get that with CS.
Well, that's why Extinct and Net are going to be moving on up to try to make sure that they can zone them out. So they say, all right, Ohio, you got the first blood and everything. You've got level 3. So if you need to abandon this lane and go to the jungle, we've done our job. So they're going to be abandoning that and going up to support KYXY. We haven't talked about... Oh, also, this is so smart. KYXY keeps coming down and scouting to see where Fox is standing to try to get a Burrow Strike. And actually, there's a smoke up from Net and Extinct. They're going to be moving up. I suppose they're going to go for the Leshrac. There's the Cold Feet. There's the Telekinesis to follow. Fade Bolt's there as well. And easy kill for the Rubik with the right clicks. Fox, he's going to take some damage and harassment, but he's going to be able to get away. So currently 2-0 in favor of Titan.
The problem with Leshrac in almost any role is that early on, until he gets... at least un-item, he is inordinately squishy. This guy dies to pretty much anything. His aggressive potential is really, really good, but if he doesn't have that much support around him, like a dual lane, it's a little bit of help, but it's not really enough to keep a guy alive. I mean, there's no way. How does Leshrac escape trouble? He really doesn't. He has no escape spells, nothing like that. Fox is way more survivable than him right now with a Burrow Strike. And the Sandstorm to get him out of dodge as well. But
speaking of them, in the mid lane, we have a Tornado going, Disruption coming as well. Fox, he's there for the Burrow Strike, Soul Catcher is there.
Yamante's...
Yeah. Goodbye, Yamante.
Oh, no?
Oh, he salved and then he managed to take a last hit.
Up through it. Very close. But...
Soul Catcher OP, but we didn't really get time to talk about the mid lane. Razor has 18 denies against Invoker's 7 for 1 last hit, which should be expected if you're going for Quas Wex. And he doesn't have any blades of attack to start off. Also, Ohio, bottom lane, getting pursued by Viper. Scorched Earth keeping him alive right now. He hasn't taken any tower damage yet. Oh, but there's a TP in coming from Yamate. He's going to be putting the Static Link onto Razor, and going to be stealing a lot of damage. He actually has 3 points in Static Link, so he's going to be hitting for 168 right now.
Well, Static Kill, not quite going to finish the job.
It cancels the salve at least.
Yamate can't chase that, but...
Yeah, completely expected, though, that Razor is going to be completely out-damaging Invoker, so that gank was much needed.
Yep. And with all this pressure on top that the Titan supports have been, exercising is the word I would use, KYXY finally finds some room. Up to 10 last hits now, and... Well... This is the space very bad.
Hold your tongue, because he's about to die. No.
Supports are back. Yeah, I don't think he knows that Fox is there, but he saw that Shadow Demon running towards him, and that's when you're like, maybe I should not stand here anymore and just try to get this XP. So,
well, in the meantime, while Razor is going down bottom lane to contest a bit, Ohio, he's gone to the jungle, and Net was getting some experience mid.
Ohio going to run into Sand King and the Shadow Demon. Shadow Demon going to disrupt Soul Catcher onto Ohio, but Ohio does not care. Scorched Earth coming in. Right into KYXY. KYXY has no mana for Riptide or any net or anything. Stomp actually misses from Ohio, but they got a lift. They got some Ancient Apparition. Right-click damage, I guess. So they'll pick up a 3rd kill.
Easy. That's what you just type that in all chat.
Yep. But they were looking for an easy kill on a hero, and then they ran into 2 heroes, and they're like, well, this is not what we had in mind, and then...
A wild team appeared.
Yep,
basically.
Pretty much.
So... In the meantime, Leshrac, though, he is currently sitting at 27 for 8, the leader in the last hits, and the Viper, to be expected, sitting very high up. So he's doing pretty well, but, I mean, God, Yamate has 20 denies. I don't see anyone as aggressively deny in the mid lane, and not to mention he isn't even really staying there. He's been rotating. Dendy is the only one that really prioritizes denies this much, and I'm really impressed. Invoker's only sitting at 19 last hits, only has a Null Talisman boots and a TP scroll. So he's made about 600 gold since this game started.
Yeah. Looks like we're going to see an attempt onto Yui again here. Rubik diving behind the tower, going to get the lift off into the cold feet, potentially, but he does ult Extinct on his way out. Extinct probably will die to that. Yes, he will. Yamate taking a lot of damage as well, though, and he's going to go down.
Well, with the TP rotations, it does end up being a 2-for-1 with Yamate and Extinct going down. However, obviously, buying KYXY any room that you can against Ninja Boogie is, I wouldn't say worth it, but it's certainly valuable. So it's always a trade-off. I haven't really seen Titan be on the complete 100% losing end on any of these trades. And not to mention Invoker, he's only been mid this time, so...
Any trade for Titan is good. Anything that can be constituted as a trade because they have a superior late game lineup. Execration, they have Invoker, they have a careless rack. I mean, like, come on. So if you can get past the point where Diabolic Edict starts to fall off a bit because your heroes get a bit healthier, you're managing you have a bit more stiffness in team fights to hold on to your towers when Edict is popped, and then really go for that high push sort of play, especially with a non-exort Invoker. There's not going to be a lot of right click on this Execration team.
Yamate, he's in trouble. Disruption, Burrow Strike falling, and yeah, Yui has got Viper does so much damage.
Yeah, he certainly does, and no one can really contest him in this lane anymore. Like as soon as the supports left, I mean, you saw that Ohio just got forced back out of the lane immediately. There's just no way. Viper's just such a pain in the ass to lane against, but we're gonna see some push middle. Boogie's got the level 2 Edict, gonna pop it.
Dire's structures are fortified.
There's going to be a glyph, but if they want to defend, they'll have to do it after this glyph, because this tower will fall pretty fast.
Well, Invoker has a full mana pool, so there's a Tornado EMP Cold Snap if they really want to engage into this. They're going to need someone to rotate in, and that's where Ohio comes in. But he's spotted by the Radiant Observer Ward over here. So of course he's spotted by the Dire Observer Ward. That's his team. Yep. Come on,
Tornado EMP top lane onto KYXY, trying to get a sleep off, but he can't do it. Now he's out of mana. Oh no, he did do it. Okay. Oh, the cold snap barely just didn't manage to get that sleep interrupt, but it seemed really weird. You feel like it didn't start until after the EMP when you wouldn't have the mana for it, but sometimes you're KYXY, I don't know.
Okay. Yui picked up a Ring of Health from the side shop for a little bit, and I was thinking he might be building a pipe, but no, he's doing the turn my reliable gold into unreliable gold in exchange for some health regen. Just buys it and then sells it right while he can at full price. Get some health regen out of that. Cool trick you can do. But he does have a Ring of Regen picked up. He's going to be starting to build towards that mechanism, and he probably won't leave this bottom lane until he does. Yamate, he's picked up a Bracer, probably going for some drums, as we do see that... or actually, no, Ohio has a Bracer and a Robe of the Magi, so it looks like he'll be going for drums. Unclear who the Met Carrier will be. But the other interesting thing is that KYXY has gone for Mana Boots in place of his bottle, since he's not going to be in the mid lane. What do you think about this choice?
Sorry, which one I was looking at supports.
KYXY, he picked up Mana Boots instead of a bottle or a Soul Ring.
I don't know. You're playing against an Invoker, so the more Quasplex Invokers, the more Mana Boots you get, the better. I don't know if you want to get them on your Naga Siren carry, but I mean, this hero doesn't really ever... You kind of just don't get boots until you get Boots of Travels, so it's not like he's replacing some other crucial piece of his kit.
Bottom lane, Ohio coming in. They're going to be dooming Yui. Telekinesis, there's a net as well. And the static link is there. AI Splash. Oh, but he's going to be saved by the defensive disruption. Is that going to be enough? The doom is still there. There's a plasma field. Manages to clean up the Shadow Demon. Ninja Boogie is there. There's a Tornado EMP, but he's going to be using the lightning. Not going to be enough. And in the backline, Viper does survive. Barely. But that is a rotation with everyone except for Fox.
Yeah, and on the backlines, Yamate's not done yet. Giving chase onto Invoker. Doesn't have not have an Invoke for 4 seconds, so he can't Ghost Walk, but he'll get out. He's pretty fast dude, and the Quad's helping out as well. So.
Nice.
They might try to push this bottom tower. They don't have well, they have Razor bonus damage for a little bit, but there will be a glyph. I don't know. I'd rather just be careful and not push this too hard, but this really seemed like Execration is not in a position to defend until these two heroes bottom heal up.
I think that they just know about... Like, this is, I think, one thing that separates pro players from scrubs like us, Kyle, is they think about the time...
Go ahead.
They think about the time it takes them to walk back to base, and they have a general idea of, okay, they can't be back here for another, like, 90 seconds or so, and they'll look at the clock, and then you see that they're retreating by the time that they know that everyone's going to be leaving their
Radiant's
base.
bottom tower is under attack.
And they will actually manage to get this bottom tower. I guess I underestimated their damage a little bit, and a couple range creeps helping out as well. But Rage has got enough items that he delivers a little bit of right click, so they're just fine. And first tower of the game, you wouldn't want to say that before this game started they would be going to Titan, but it does. But well, as I say, the Execration should get top tower by the
Yeah,
this game, so eventually they get that. But the fact that Leshrac tri-lane or Leshrac dual lane didn't get that tower earlier is a testament to, I want to say, KY's fortitude and like not playing too aggressively, not trying to get last hits and dying for it, and he just played his lane about as well as he could have.
Tornado EMP onto Ohio. There's going to be a split earth to follow as well. He's completely out of mana. Edict. Ice Blast coming in defensively though. He did get the Scorched Earth off. Oh, he actually gets a kill before he goes down. He knows that he's going down, so he tries to take someone with him. And Titan's entire team rotates top to manage to get both return kills up.
And Scorched Earth's pretty good spell.
I was going to mention that Invoker will be going straight for the Orchid build, which is, it's basically called the Clinks build. You Ghost Walk in, you have an Orchid, and you just kill people with Alacrity on yourself and Cold Snap, and not to mention the Soul Burn damage. So that's particularly good against the Noggin. Well, never mind. Purge going to be used on the Amate. Yui does have the double damage rune, but Epicenter going to be used from Fox. Showing off the Blink Dagger for the first time, but Burrow Strike was now stolen by Extinct. There's going to be a disruption defensively. Ohio's there as well, and he's going to be using the Burrow Strike to secure the kill.
This is up there with like Fissure and Ice Path to some extent, as far as like best spells in the game to steal and then be able to just use like a billion times. Like the utility from Burrow Strike is almost unparalleled on when you get on a Rubik and it's a level 4 Burrow. It's such a good spell for Rubik to steal.
No animation is pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's pretty much instant as it is. Like that makes Rubik Fissure just absolutely bananas. But yeah, Burrow Strike, you just had the mana pool for it. Sand King doesn't always have that, but Rubik can use so many of those. And having a second disable on a hero is something that makes it a lot more versatile. So,
well, Extinct, or sorry, not Extinct, Net, he came in and dropped some Observer Wards in their jungle, immediately spots Yui going down and farming, and they're on the hunt. They're looking for blood. They might find a courier for their troubles, too. It was on the way to deliver a point booster to Leshrac, but he was spotted out by the Radiant Observer Ward in the lane, so they all back off.
Yeah, probably not the safest place for the courier to head out to, but yeah, Leshrac is Crouching Tiger, hidden Leshrac in the jungle right now, so we'll see if he can actually get a whole lot done out of this position. I think he's just kind of...
Plasma Field's going to find him.
Plasma Field's going to actually hit him.
Yeah.
Ice Blast to follow. Look at him with the effect, but not the impact damage. But Ninja Boogie is, like I said, Leshrac. Hero dies pretty good. Most heroes would do that combination right there, but he more so than most.
I mean...
He does have a point booster now, actually. That helps out a good bit. It does give you a little bit of tank that you need to really kind of try and actually stay alive in these fights, but even so, it's just not a very mobile hero.
Yui decided to forego a mech and is going to be going straight for a pipe. What do you think about this?
Radiant's bottom tower is
they
under
do
attack.
really want a mech in their team, though, if they want to just like really push and get aggressive, but...
Is like maybe
Pipes.
Leshrac or
I guess.
Invoker going to be going for one? I mean, Invoker's going for Orchid, so...
I don't know. The Leshrac, you really don't want to get one on Leshrac. You just want to get some mana regen up. You don't need to wait more ways.
Tornado EMP onto Yamate, Net, and Extinct. Burrow Strike going to be getting the Extinct to get a little bit away, and Shadow Poison's going to chase, but going to be futile. Ohio, he's coming down here. He does have Doom. Also, he finished the drums. Going to be going straight for a BKB, probably. Probably not a Halberd, as BKB is quite good against any team with Invoker or all the magic damage coming out from their carrier Leshrac. So they ultimately avoid each other, but there is now a 5-man party mid for Execration. But I mean, this is just a 170 health tower. Are they really going to dedicate 5 people to it? The Ice Blast is coming in. There's the Static Storm used by Yamate, and the Burrow Strike Epicenter are going to be used from Fox as well, but KYXY comes in, he sleeps. Ohio's going to TP out, he's going to get out to safety, but Extinct going to be following Fox, trying to take him down. The Split Earth is off the mark, looking for KYXY, and KYXY should go down here eventually. There is the Pulse Nova as well from Leshrac to get the additional damage, so that was ultimately a 2-for-0 and a tower and some ultimates used on the side of Titan.
Sand King did buy back, but I have no idea why KYXY TP'd in to get the Doom out and then stayed around. He's like, maybe you're gonna get the deny. Oh, I'm not gonna get the deny, and then he could have taken top tower and then come back to defend the tier 2. as opposed to doing what he did there. I am a little confused by his decision making in that one. Oh, Ice Blast on 4 though, but I was kind of walking in. Gonna get no, actually dodged the EMP with his instruction. He's doing that pretty quick. The Soul Catcher damage. Yamate coming in.
He does get the Doom off on the Viper though. Yamate might choose to pursue this, but only a level 2 Doom. It's not going to be the greatest. Fox going to be trying to blink Burrow Strike onto Extinct and is actually going to airball it a bit. Yamate still giving chase, but Yui, the Doom is worn off, so he's going to be able to start regenerating with the help of his Hood of Defiance. And Sand King is going to be able to blink out. Fox gets out of there. He does have the Soul Catcher, which was stolen from Rubik. Very good spell to be stealing, especially. Well, I mean, just in general. You telekinesis someone and you can catch their soul. It's really nice, but...
So, that was the first time, I think, this game that... So Execration, like we said earlier, their lineup is the one with a bit of a timer on it. They want to get a lot done now. And this is the first time that I think Titan have played... They haven't really played on the safer side of how they want to deal with it. Like, they try to take that fight with the sleep instead of kind of... I don't know. Because Ohio is left leaving the fight, no Scorched Earth. Doom, even without Doom, still does a pretty decent bit of damage in these fights with Scorched Earth and just smacking dudes around, but... That was just that was their first real big mistake this game, and losing those towers is okay for now, but they don't want to make that mistake again because next time it could mean a Roche or it could mean a lot more towers as well.
Well, in the meantime, KYXY, he's quietly farmed up 2,700 gold, so he is going to be going for the Radiance build, which is just... If you play Naga Siren once with Radiance Boots of Travel and then you try doing it again, it's just really difficult. It's like you're not even playing the same hero, of course, but...
Yeah, it's a completely different style. Like, I played this hero a lot as support back when it was really... That was what it was favored as, and... This is a very, very, very different way of playing the hero, for sure.
Fox, Blake Burrow Strike on the KYXY, though, but it's a trap. Net's there as well. He has a Cold Feet. Epicenter are going to be committed from Fox in the Cold Feet. It doesn't proc, but he's going to be under Sandstorm. Too bad Ice Blast goes through that. He knows where you are. And Ninja Boogie, he came up and he... cleared up the creep wave. He was wondering if there was going to be a residual fight, but there was not, as there is a push bottom lane. Well, speaking of the push bottom lane, Tornado EMP, Soul Catcher going to be on the Yamate, though. Doom, it is off cooldown, but there's a disruption to buy BGO some time, and the Static Storm doing so much damage, Plasma Field going to be able to finish him off as well. On the backside, Invoker and Viper both managed to slip away unscathed, and the tower does get denied.
Yep, so that's a very good fight for Titan in two places on the map, and it's... The Execration has... They want to be 5-manning, I think. I mean, the top lane, they wanted to pick off Naga, which obviously helps out quite a bit if you can do that, but when Net made that... Sorry, when... I see Sand King, I think it's Net. When Fox made that decision to go top and try and go on that Naga Siren, and Leshrac kind of felt suited to follow, he leaves that team fight bottom, and it's a lot harder to win that without all that burst magic damage from Leshrac in the bottom lane, so... made that push a lot harder to execute. I'm kind of surprised they actually kept going with it, to be perfectly honest, even if it was just a tier 1 and it seemed easy to get.
Well, looking at item progressions here, we just finished 2 big ones. Leshrac has finished the Bloodstone, and Invoker has finished off the Orchid Malevolence. So they should be looking to just completely 5-man, as they do smoke up with 4. Towards the mid lane, it was not spotted by the Dire Observer Ward, and they're pinging out the jungle right away, which is where it looks like 3 members are. KYXY just finished up the gold for his Relic. And Ohio, he's there. He does still have Doom, and he's getting very close to that BKB. They're pinging the Ancients as well, but this whole time, Titan is farming, so they really need to hopefully get someone and get at least 1 or 2 picks from this. Smoke is popped. They're going to find the Courier. They're going to get that for free, and yep, Dire's Courier has been killed. But better the Courier than any other heroes, and you're going to do a 4-man smoke gank just for a Courier? I mean, KYXY can walk to the Secret Shop to get his relic. You know what would have been...
Well, the thing is, the Courier was there to buy that Relic. If that's mistimed just a little bit, if that's a little bit later, there's a Relic on that Courier, and that's down, which would have been a real pain in the ass for Titan. But instead, Naga will be able to go pick that up. She'll have to sell a branch, which she'll be pretty sad about. I know I would, but...
Dude, I never sell branches. Like,
dude, it's not worth selling a branch to get a divine. I mean, not a divine, a sacred relic. I mean, the damage. Who needs it when you can get +1 strength? It's pretty good.
It's not even that. It's just has sentimental value, you know.
Oh, KYXY gonna be forced to pop a song bottom.
There's CP response coming in there. There are going to be 4 here. Ninja Boogie, he's in trouble. He throws off the Pulse Nova before he goes down, but Ice Blast, ultimates, everything used.
Yeah, can't even get off the suicide. So
Yamate wasn't even there.
When you
as
buy
well.
a Bloodstone, you don't want to start off with.
5 charges.
Not as many charges as you...
Radiant's top tower
Okay,
is
well,
under
okay,
attack.
you don't want to die before going into a big fight with the Bloodstone, because you want to get positive charges and stay alive, not just get picked off and lose them. So that's a little unfortunate for Ninja Boogie. That's the problem with Bloodstone is, like, once you get it, like, okay, we better win every fight from now on so that this item isn't going to be bad, because I want to help my team, but instead, I'm going to start off with 5 charges instead of the good old 6.
It's always pretty sad. At least he comes up right away, so... I think that maybe they're a little bit more orchestrated. I think that, you know, once again, well, actually, speaking of which,
See
KYXY.
KYXY. I don't know.
Yeah,
You can't
okay.
farm there with the song down, buddy. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say it was just like top lane with Fox and Ninja Boogie coming in, but he got caught with Song both times. But this time, KYXY is the one to get caught out for. He doesn't have Song, so it looks like they're going to be trying to turn this into towers, and this is the strength and point of this whole lineup, I think.
Yep, Doom's coming down as well, so we'll see an attempt at a defense. They do have a glyph ready, so they can delay this a little bit if they want to wait for KYXY to get back. I don't know. It's if they can get the Leshrac off the bat, that's pretty good. He has a lot of health.
Oh, he doomed a creep!
Oh,
Ohio doomed a creep!
That creep wasn't even close to a hero. That's why
I don't know, but
quite
there's going to be a
understand.
burst strike into Epicenter
Oh
as
my
well.
gosh.
And this is a 3-for-0 net.
What a
He's going to try to
disaster.
get away, but he's caught by the Longhorn Tornado. There's the Orchid there as well. He doesn't have Invoke, though. Is Orchid even going to be used? Yes, it is for more damage. But there's a Disruption and a Splitter to be buying time. And this is a huge turnaround for Execration.
They needed to take advantage of their glyph and just try and delay that a little bit. They didn't need to... Well, they didn't need to doom a creep, definitely, but I don't think... Well, the thing is, okay, so he's trying to doom Yue, and I don't think dooming Viper changes how that fight turns out because of how good the Epicenter was. I really think that's what made the difference. So, oh man, that's just... Execration, they take one good
Oh,
fight,
God,
they
I
take
can't
towers.
wait to see the chat. Sorry.
Oh, Hio, please, have mercy, buddy.
It's okay, he didn't deny the creep.
He's...
I'm sorry.
Or he's almost got a BKB. He's great at denying. He's great in lane because of that. But
Dyer's bottom tower.
oh
is
yeah,
under
yeah.
attack.
Ice Blast is a pretty good stand build ability. So at the end of the day, they'll only lose the tier 2. But that trade was not great. The good thing is that KYXY wasn't at that debacle, so he did not die as well. Sleep probably would have helped out quite a bit in that fight, but he's very, very close to his Radiance now, so that should help out a little bit. That'll burn through that pipe shield if he does come to fights. If he doesn't, he'll allow him to split push a lot more effectively, which I hope is what he does decide to go for. But this Lestrac's getting a bit jacked. Boots of Travel, and then he comes back with a good fight with that Bloodstone and getting some more charges back. So he's back in business under Lestrac.
It only takes one good fight, and that's the cool thing about Bloodstone is that just one good fight, and all of a sudden the game is amazing. It puts a bit of a burden on that first fight, but Razor, he'll be going in for his own BKB after finishing off the Mechanism and Treads, so he's going to be trying to make sure he can freely static link and take some damage away from Viper, as well as make sure he gets a full duration static storm. Probably going to go for the Aghanims right after that.
They really need these BKBs though. Doom is so close to his, and then once they do, this Doom is your frontline hero. You want to be able to like take an epi and not be the saddest man in the world, but he's almost there now, so that BKB will help out quite a bit, and Razors can get one too. Obviously, the other heroes can't afford them. You'd rather not get BKB on Naga Siren. It's just you don't want to do that. Doesn't make the illusions that much stronger, so you shouldn't see that, but getting it on Doom will certainly help out, and Yamate wants to be in the middle of things, static linking it up like you said. He wants to be uninterrupted to be able to just get all the damage he can off, so...
Right, absolutely. And also, Plasma Field is a very spammable spell.
Mm-hmm.
If you get 2 or 3, that's a pretty appreciable damage in a fight, especially when they spread out and towards the end radius when you do a lot more damage. So very important that he gets that. And when he gets the Aghanim Scepter, that's going to be a lot of damage. But a very important item coming up, Execration. Ninja Boogie is going for his own Scythe of Vice. So if he just catches Doom or catches Naga or Razor, any of the 3 cores, they're dead. He's going to be able to kill them while they're sheeped, and he's going to pretty much have the endless regen from that to make sure he can have a Pulse Nova uninterrupted.
Yeah, he's got a ton of mana regen. He's really fast now. This is the farm Leshrac you were talking about earlier, where early game it's pretty easy to kill, but now he's got almost 1800 health. He's really fast.
And 15 regen.
Dyer's top tower is under attack.
He's going to be very, very hard to kill. Like, they can't defend this tower. There's no way in hell, so they're not going to even bother trying, but not really getting anything in the meantime either. KO actually getting a little bit of gold, I guess, but going to try and pressure mid with his Radiance. And Yamate's here as well, so they should get this tier 1 mid.
Yeah. Backdoor regen is out, so they're going to be able to get that. Interesting to see if they pressure the tier 2. There actually is the track. Ninja Boogie's coming in under the cover of smoke. He's really freaking fast, but they're going to be able to get away from that. And Titan playing on a back foot now. All of their tier 2, their outer tier towers are gone, which you obviously expect from this lineup. And defending Rex is a lot easier when you have both Song of the Siren and Doom. Very, very powerful ultimates of controlling team fights. So their high ground defense is a lot easier, but still, I mean, one team fight and goodbye your base.
Yeah, the good news is that all the lanes we just pushed out to high held right now for Titan, because they have the Radiant Song. You just send illusions out. You can, or just pop a song. Just TP out at KYXY. Oh my god.
He pops some more illusions because he's got to make sure that he farms.
Don't scare me like that, KYXY, please.
God, Miracle always scares me so much when he runs around and pretends he's an illusion.
That's, I don't know. It's a high risk play, but.
Who was Scythe playing against whenever he just kept getting caught like multiple times? They like stomped the game, but so it didn't actually matter.
Checking my it was Myth Trust, yeah.
Was it Myth Trust? I thought it was Myth Trust as well, or Mineski.
Viper Aghanim's up, so these fights can be an absolute pain in the ass for Titan. So you need to get BKB, but then you get BKB and then Yui just throws his ultimate on you, and you're like, well, I'm still sad, so.
And he does it again 12 seconds later, and you're like, why?
It's a real pain in the ass.
I don't even have a BKB anymore. The worst is when you get, like your BKB runs out and you get Galed, and you're like, oh, come on, he's just a support. Why am I 200 move speed?
Why am I dead? And then you're dead. It's like, well.
I was playing a game earlier. I think I was playing TA, and they had a Veno, and he throws his ultimate on me, and I'm like, man, I'm freaking dead. Does he have Ags and Veil already? And he didn't. He was just level 11.
Dude, just Refraction's all you got. You don't have that, then you're kind of just dead.
I didn't
also,
have
okay, so the BKBs are starting to come out for Titan. We've got it finished on Razor now, and Doom's head is done for a little bit. He still has a 10-second BKB, as Doom actually gets the top lane. Tier 1 tower. Fox will show up to Darude some creeps down, but Ninja Boogie will do his best to steal them, but won't quite get all of them. But Rubik's Soul and Viper Strike.
There's an engagement bottom lane. Tornado EMP is there, but Viper Strike was used. And the Doom is going to be going on to Invoker Telekinesis, trying to bring him back. And the Plasma Field from Yamate going to be able to clean him up. Never mind, it was actually the Fade Bolt. KYXY trying to catch up. He's not that fast. He doesn't have a Yasha, but Yui, he's going to be having some trouble. Gets the Static Link off, and now the Ice Blast is soon to follow. Going to be leading. Actually going to catch Shadow Demon as well. There's going to be a disruption. No, the 10-second BKB is used. The net's going to be used, and Shadow Demon is so sad.
Double kill.
I know he's just trying to help out his buddy there, but I don't know what he thought he was going to accomplish. He's like, I'm gonna save you. Oh my freaking god! And then runs into an Ice Blast for his troubles. That takes away like half his health. And then, well, free Roche. Roche feels good, man.
Dire side advantage now. They're gonna back off. They don't have the damage, I don't think. But important pickup now is that Extinct picks up a Blink Dagger, so now he can initiate in these fights, which is something that Titan's really been missing. Also,
Epicenter can be used.
Yeah, BKB on cooldown.
Yeah, and when Viper's down for a while, he's not going to be back for a good bit, so throwing the Epicenter around, not the biggest worry, not going to take it.
Oh, they're still going to be going on Ohio. He pops his BKB. Level Death does so much! And just 2 right clicks going to be able to get it. And, yeah, Ninja Boogie not going to make the same mistake that his friend on the Shadow Demon did.
Yeah, he does burn the 10-second BKB. I don't know. That's all right for Execration, I guess.
So, actually, I was incorrect. Ninja Boogie did decide to go for a Lincoln Sphere instead of a Scythe of Ice. It's going to be Invoker going to be picking up the Scythe of Ice. I mean, obviously,
either would have been good items, but this
Lincoln Sphere is incredible against Doom, though, and also just helping the mana regen. He's sitting at 30 mana regen per second, so pretty much invincible.
Ninja Boogie it's a lot of sustained burst damage. So you can throw a Lightning Storm and stuff like that, and Edict for as long as it's on helps out a lot. But if you can just stay alive, keep Pulse Nova up, and have the mana to keep it going, it's a tremendous amount of DPS. So that's what the Lincoln is there to really make sure that he can get that off as long as possible.
Yeah, and you think he's going to go in for?
Easily.
You think he's going to go in for an Aghanim Scepter to make sure that Pulse Nova does as much damage as it can?
I think this getting another Scythe might be a better decision, but you can really get anything that gives you some extra intelligence and extra health on Leshrac, and it's a pretty good idea. So you could even get something like I think a Shiva's wouldn't be the worst thing in the world either, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, Shiva's is pretty good. Not to mention the armor, as well as the int is going to help him a lot, especially with the right clicks. And having a mana pool is, when you have a Bloodstone hero, basically mana pool is the name of the game, which is why we sometimes see oh my god, what am I thinking? Tinker picks up a Bloodstone super late in the game for that reason as well. So,
yep.
There was an engagement, slight engagement mid. You would just spite Viper striking an illusion.
That's when,
dude, it's a 12-second cooldown. It's like clockwork.
You have to call that an engagement because it's like, oh, it took like 5 minutes to kill these goddamn illusions.
He doesn't even have a Reaver. He only has a Vitality booster, which really doesn't do a whole lot for his illusions.
Yeah, but he's getting it because he's forced to fight a lot. So he's going for the item that helps him out right now, more so than the Reaver, which takes a little bit longer to get, but is the better thing to get for your illusions. But he realizes he might be forced to defend here sometime soon.
Speaking of defending, Ninja Boogie, he was pushing top lane. Linken's is going to be popped, though. Yamate getting used his BKB. He's gotten almost a full duration static link, but Yui in the background, he's going to get doomed as well. Ice Spot's going to land on him, and there was a defensive disruption. Goodbye, Shadow Demon. And Yui, he should go down as well. Ohio, he's gigantic, chasing with the Scorched Earth from the BKB, but Pulse Nova coming in. Ninja Boogie trying to do as much damage as he can, but the Naga Siren song, it's going to be canceling Foxy's Epicenter, and Viper will go down one more level. Death. Oh no! Is he going to turn this around? He is! Are you kidding me? The regen from the Pipe of Insight as well as the magic resistance helping him live through that doom and turn it around. Meanwhile, on the backside of the fight, Net and everyone else, they're going to be trying to get down Fox, and they're going to take him down successfully, but Yamate, he gets orchided, but Extinct comes in, he blinks in with the Stolen Burrow Strike, and he's going to take him down, but Ninja Boogie gets an Earth Split, going to be able to take him down. Now it's a 3 versus 2. Yamate, he's taking a lot of trouble. Cold Snap and Viper Strike, but Viper's almost out of mana. He actually took the gem from Ohio, and KYXY has to TP out, and Net manages to slither behind in the back scenes. He has finished his Aghanim Scepter, so it was very important that he did not die in that fight, but that is a lost gem, and everyone except the Naga Siren and the AA dying.
So they need to not lose their racks here. We see a buyback from Razor. There's also a buyback on the Naga Siren. We'd really rather not use that. Rubik has buyback as well, though, so I'd like to see him come back. It's convenient
that he didn't die, so he doesn't have to buy back.
Oh, that's true. You're right. Sorry. Well, that's really for the best, you know. Sometimes if you're alive, you buy back, you get 2 of your hero, and then go win a fight for free. But
what happens if you buy back while you're alive? You just spend a buyback. When you die, it's like
instantly alive.
You're instantly alive. You buy an Aegis, pretty much.
Good thing you didn't die there. Finishing the hearts, that's made these illusions way more impossible to deal with for Execration, and they need a. That fight was. That was a trade that Titan are like they're okay with. That fight was a little bit chaotic. They lost a fair bit of heroes, but it was mostly even. Execration not able to turn it into racks. They do about half damage on the tier 3 tower, but that's about it. So if they can last a little bit longer, I think Titan will be in pretty good shape this game. But
pretty even game too. Extinct.
Oh, top lane, Ninja Boogie getting gone on. Linken's won't save you now, buddy.
No, it won't. He took a long time to bring down.
Yeah.
He hasn't even built Tenki yet. He only has a Bloodstone and Linken's, but down to 6 charges after those 2 deaths is going to be hurting him a bit, but fortunately he's going to be okay. Well, actually, Ohio on the backside, he finds Fox, he pops the BKB, and he actually is just going to TP out. He's going to be Yamate. He's going to be doing the same thing. Follow the example. Net. He's just running. He's like, I got Tranquil Boots, and he just TPs out. There's no stun. There wasn't a Deafening Blast available. No Invoke. So all 3 of them are going to be able to get out the cost of their BKBs.
There's really no reason for them to try and take a fight there and have something go badly and have Leshrac BOT in, and
especially while Doom is on cooldown.
Yeah, it's really not worth being dead. So
I was going to point out something we glossed over a bit was that Ohio did pick up a gem earlier, and that's why there were almost no observer wards. Oh wow, do you see what I drew on the minimap?
You drew a nice big circle, buddy.
It looks way different to me. Just look at the stream at 2 minutes, but getting that gem means that there's going to be a lot less map control. Like really, the only way they're going to be able to see the map reliably is with KYXY's illusions, which is. They've been caught out a fair amount of times, and that's what's been causing these fights. Speaking of fights, going to be one in the bottom in the top lane, and Shadow Demon going to be going down eventually. Tornado going to be trying to buy him some space, but Ohio blinks in, or he didn't blink, and he just kind of walked in. He gets a stomp off. He hasn't used Doom yet. It hasn't come off cooldown. Ninja Boogie, he's going to be having some trouble, but Fox comes in with the Epicenter. But too bad, Ohio still has his BKB, and there's the song immediately, and Extinct, he blinks in, but he's out of mana. Yamate, he comes in, he has his BKB as well, he uses a Plasma Field, he's going to commit the Static Storm, maybe no, he just gets the Static Link off. Rubik does go down, so kind of sad for you, Extinct, and Invoker, the only one to make it out alive. seeing as he's 50 gold away from his Scythe of Ice. Very important that he doesn't die there as well.
I think it's almost that point where if you're Execration, this game's almost beyond their reach at this point. They have to really get a Rax in the next fight or two, or else they're in really bad shape. They might need to get an Aegis too, because they're just not able to deal with the damage that they can put out without losing heroes, basically. Like, they need to be able to throw someone at the front lines and just hit some Rax, but the problem is they don't have any, like, other than Edict, which you have to be right next to the tower pretty much to use, they don't actually have a way to right-click this tower. They don't have, like, an army of Necro Creeps. They don't have Forward Spirits. They don't have some tanky frontline hero like a Skeleton, Wraith King who just walks up and smacks the tower and doesn't give a shit. They don't have a real way to take this tower without just running into Naga Illusions and getting wrecked. It's getting really, really hard for them.
Yep. Jim... Actually, wait a second. Was that Shadow Demon's gem this whole time? I thought that I had seen Ohio buy one.
I have no idea, man. I don't know what to tell you.
Okay, so I was mistaken with my story time. Apparently, Shadow Demon bought the gem. Ohio stole it from him. Yui defended his honor and stole the gem back. And now Ancient Apparition...
Your story sucks, Travis.
Oh, wow. Screw you, Kyle.
Alright, well, Ohio has the Shiva's Guard done now, and that'll help a lot in these fights as well. Basically, their chase is already pretty damn good, but Execration has some fast heroes of their own, but the Shivas will help make that a little bit easier for them as well, and give them the ability to...
The attack speed slow is just remarkable.
Yeah,
it's like...
Shiva's is a good item.
Was it 60%? Or...
Something like that.
No, it's just 40, it's just a base move, but... Still, attack speed slow is underrated. Speaking of which, they're meeting by Roche. Sheep on Ohio. Burrow Strike going to be there as well. He blows up. And Ninja Boogie was there as well. He was just chilling in the jungle farming. And Titan, they're going to be trying to move back. They do have Naga Sleep. Does Doom have a buyback? No, he does not have a buyback. He's short for gold. But fortunately for them, it looks like Execration doesn't want to contest Roche. Which, to be totally honest, I think they can take a fight in Roche. They have Invoker. They have Epicenter as well. Do they have Epicenter? Yeah, they have Epicenter. I think they really need to start putting priority
I really
towards
do
Roche
think
to
they're going to have a
ground.
hard time breaking high ground if they don't go for a Roche at some point. I think it's worth doing, but Doom's going to be back in 20 seconds. They're trying to maybe pressure middle a little bit. We can see maybe KYX might throw some illusions around and try and throw this off a little bit, but Yamate also split pushing at the same time. And there's a lot of creeps on here bottom, so this tier 2 bottom tower is looking pretty dead for the Radiant side in there. Gonna try it for these racks, but I don't know. Let's see if it goes any better for them than it has previously.
Dyer's top tower
Yeah, Yamate will finish off that tower. Leshrac is going to be going for his own Scythe of Ice. So that's going to be good. Double disable. Actually, no, he pays him an Ultimate and an Ogre Club, so maybe he's just going straight for a BKB. Probably had the Scythe of Ice on quick buy, purchased the Ultimate Orb before he died, and decided he needs to make sure that he's not disabled in these fights. So super defensive like, build, Lincoln's and BKB.
Like, I mean, getting more health at this point for Leshrac, I don't know if that's really going to help him, because the thing in these fights is he's the only one left at the end a lot of the time, and it's like, well, if you're alone as Leshrac, you're dead anyway, so they... Promise, like, Leshrac, I mean, like, do you, like, buy a right-click item to do more damage? I was actually middle, you ain't going to get caught by a song, maybe? Or was it canceled immediately?
It was canceled immediately, because there's a Blink Telekinesis, so Song is wasted if this fight goes poorly. There's a defensive disruptor, and the Sasquatch's going to go through it. They always focus Shadow Demon, that's so mean. But anyway, Yamate going to be able to get that kill as well, and currently just a 2-0. And Viper Strike was stolen by Extinct, and they're just going to go straight for Roche, so...
Yeah, it's Execration's reaction in a team fight to if they get gone on is EMP Tornado, and Invoker was bottom lane defending against a wave of creeps, so there's really no good way out of that situation for them. And yeah, 2 picks for Titan, a little bit more space, and just making that timer tick down a bit longer on Execration. Their back's up against the wall at this point.
It's going to be really difficult. It's really... They have to take a miracle team fight is the thing, and that's just one of the hardest things to do against Invoker.
He's sheeped up middle. He's tanky as fuck, though, so let's see if he actually goes down here. Ice Blast's going to fall in. You still haven't killed Yamate. He might go down now, but it took all 4 of those heroes a lot of time to kill that guy, so...
Yeah. Razor building tanky is nice.
Help out a lot.
What I was going to say is just really difficult to take that fight. A really good team fight against a Naga Siren and Doom. So... I mean, if they get pickoffs like that and someone's caught without buyback, or maybe they bought back and are dead for 120 seconds, someone really important, such as any of the 3 cores, I mean, it's still feasible. I think that Execration has all the tools that they need. Disruption going to be used on some Naga Siren Illusions to grab some Radiances of their own. But Ohio's just going to right-click them. They actually just time out. They give up on life themselves.
They don't last very long. That's, I mean, in a fight it's pretty good, but like as far as like trying to like use him to annoy a tower.
It's only good with TL because they can make more illusions for you.
Extinct gonna go for the lift. EMP. I mean, sorry, the tornado gonna fly through, but sleep to fall immediately. So Extinct will get out perfectly fine. Doom used up on the Invoker. He just pieces right out. Ohio right in the front as usual, but KYXY is coming up, and let's see if that she had the damage to kill him. Epicenter, a really nice one, gonna do a lot of damage. KYXY, he actually gonna take a fall here. Buybacks galore flying through. They will come back, and they need to defend this Rex. They cannot let this go. Ninja Boogie still at half health. Ohio gets silenced up.
He's regening a lot though, and he's got Pulse Nova. Everyone's alive still. Invoker's still standing. And he's got all of his belts there, so it's the Meatball and the Deafening Blast on the Sheep Stick onto Ohio. And KYXY, he's gonna die back. He just fought back. He's
so
super
tanky,
tanky, but are they going to be able to get him? Fox comes in with the Burrow Strike, but now he's in the range of the Tier 3 tower. 64 HP, 1 Viper Strike. Oh, he mirror imaged it off, but he still goes down. He died back. He's down for 90 seconds. Fox, he's going to be going down under the cover of the Static Swarm, but Ninja Boogie, he's at full health again. Sunstrike going to finish him off. It's a team wipe. Execration going to take 1 Rax, if not 2, off of this. Oh my God, Kyle!
You basically, this is the lineup. You could be like, you're like, all right, we're surviving. All right, we're surviving. All right, we're surviving. People almost made it through the storm, and then you just get completely wrecked in a team fight. And then the sustain with these heroes is ridiculous because Ninja Boogie's always been pumping out the damage, and UA with that Aghanim Scepter has about 10,000 Viper Strikes at his disposal. And Extinct trying to make a play here. I don't really know about that, buddy.
He has a Forge Spirit. He's fine.
Oh my God. Well.
I think this is it. Otherwise, we're against Mega Creeps. I think
no way.
Naga Siren is one of the best heroes against Mega Creeps, but they aren't going to try. GG is called, and wow, what incredible play from Execration managing to take this game 1.
Yeah, it's oh God, it's just one of those teams, man. If you screw up once, you're pretty dead. And I think when they went for the Riku's, trying to really defend that top barracks, and I think with the Naga Siren on your team, you maybe, after losing that first round, let that first one go. They needed to wait for Extinct to be back up before going again with the Naga Siren and the Doom, and whoever bought back in that first round. Rubik could not, and he has a lot of their disables, whether it be whatever he steals with the spell steal, or with the telekinesis left off of Blink. He's their initiation, and he was down on the sidelines when they jumped back in again to try and regoose. And Execration pretty much had everybody there. They just couldn't win that fight. They needed to just try and delay and maybe try and defend the middle racks and let that top racks go down. I know it's hard to do, but I think in hindsight being 2020 as it is, that would have been the best way to handle it. But once again, well played by Execration, and they maintained. They didn't give up. They kept pushing because that's like, we must keep pushing. We will destroy them. And then, well, they were right. So nicely done.
All right, we're going to go ahead and get straight into Game 2. No delay. We'll be back in a couple of minutes. Keep the stream open.